what do you think about single parenting as it relates to the upbringing of children?
Okay, I think that personally, I don't have a problem with single parenting. Um, what I have a problem with is the way the society sees single parents, the whole way in which they tend to demonize this whole issue of being a single parent, and that for me is a big problem because it tends to say, well, if a child is brought up in a single parent household, you think the worst of that child, that the child would go astray, everything bad would happen to that child. And I am totally against that because I grew up in a single parent household and I know that is not what society seems to think. What is most bothering is the whole thing about the caring work that women do. The rearing of these children, the bearing and the rearing of these children, and all the other work that goes into that, that is not recognized. Now, that is a big problem, and that is what is putting a lot of pressure on mothers, especially single mothers. And in that sense, if you could get that work recognized, valued, and counted, then the whole myths about being in a single parent household would be different. That's my opinion.
We know that there has always been a stigma associated with single parent family structures. Indeed, like what you said, this form of family was seen as deviant when compared to other family forms, especially the nuclear family. So, how do you see single parenting versus the nuclear family structure?
Well, I beg to differ in that way because I'm saying that, we have a lot of nuclear family structure and we see you could see some of the worst things happening in those families. You talk about children being out of control, you look right there and you could see those things happening. It all comes down to discipline and the time that, people would take to spend with their children. Look, the advantage about being a single parent is that, like I said, because this whole caring work is not counted, women are forced to leave their children for long hours and go out there in order to ensure the survival of the family. In that sense, the children are there sometimes unprotected, unsupervised. But there are a lot of children who are supervised and things still go wrong, right? I just want to make it clear that we shouldn't blame it on that. My mom was a single parent and she used to work for long hours, but the thing is, that she would try to find that time when she comes home in the night to find out what happened during the day. And she couldn't see all of us because by the time she gets home, some of the children would be sleeping, the younger ones. By the time she leaves in the morning, some of them would still be sleeping. So she didn't see them every day, but she would check in on us. And because once you have that communication with the child, you could spend that amount of time with your children and explain to them and they know exactly what is going on. I think it helps because it helped for me and I know of many other single parent households who it helped for. That's just the whole thing is valuing the work that we do as mothers, as carers, and ensuring that that work is valued and counted.
Myself and my husband, we divorced 15 years. I live with my children. I grew up with my children, I work very hard to bring them up at least with education in school.
All right. How many children do you have?
I have two children, two girls.
Two girls.
Yeah.
What would you say is your greatest challenge in bringing up your children? Or what was your greatest challenge in
My
bringing
greatest
up your child?
challenge is working very hard to achieve a goal with my children. That is my greatest challenge. I work very hard. I do a lot of job. I work with the American Affairs with Interland Scholarships students. And I work with the American Affairs looking after children. And that I do for my living. And I do catering work on the other side to bring up my family.
So the Amerindian Affairs would pay you to take in these
Yes,
children
they pay me
to look after
yes,
the children?
Yes, they pay me every month to look after the children.
Okay. How many jobs do you have?
Right now I have to.
2 jobs.
Yes.
2
I
jobs
still
to do to make ends meet.
to make 2 ends meet.
All right. Who would take care of your children when you're not around?
Well, children is teenagers. When they finish from school, they go all in the morning to school. When they come back, I'm at home, and I be at home when they return
Okay.
from school, and be together as a family.
Okay. What are some common behavioral problems you experience from your daughters?
Well, my 2 daughters, I bring them up. I bring up my 2 daughters. I don't have no problem with them. Even in school, I teach them the way how my mother teach me. And I bring up my children the right way. I never had a problem with school. I never go to school for no bad behavior or no teacher will send a paper or letter me to concerning my children. And they go to school, they go to high school, they get a job. And that is it.
Okay. What are some emotional problems you've experienced with them? Poor self-esteem, depression at any time, withdrawal, stuff like that. You ever experienced anything like that with them?
Sometimes you will get a little stressed out sometimes when things don't work right, but I put it in prayer and, believe in God and, God is showing me.
Was it difficult enforcing discipline when it was necessary?
No, I did not.
Okay. What techniques you use to discipline your children, or did you use to discipline your children?
Well, I sit with them, and if they go anywhere wrong, what I don't like, we sit and we talk. If you do certain things, I will sit down with you. I show you the way, I show you how I come up, and both of us will be together, and they will do the exact thing. So after.
Okay. Has any of your children ever disciplined or had to undergo counseling
No.
or any sort?
No.
If you were to make any suggestions, what kind of assistance you think the government could give to assist single parents? Financial assistance.
Well, at least financial assistance, at least you're looking for the government to help you out with your children. Because everything just raising and so on, your salary, at least government salary is not a big set amount, right? And at least if the government could give a little assistance, we would be glad for that.
Okay, thank you.
What caused you to become a single parent? A death of the spouse, divorce? You have one child, right? A boy or okay, a girl. What would you consider your greatest challenge of raising your child alone? Inadequate economic resources, inability to spend time with the child, inability to effectively supervise, guide, or discipline, and limited time for self, or if you have any other challenge.
I would say limited time for myself because I give her most of my time.
Okay.
I devote myself to her most of the time.
Okay.
I try to balance it.
Balance it. Okay. So
I
that's-
go to classes,
okay, you go to
so
Mhm.
I try to balance it.
Okay.
So I would say limited time of myself.
Limited time
For
that.
myself.
Right. Okay. And you work.
No.
Okay. And what are some common behavioral problems you experience from your daughter, if any? Or she's not really
Normal children behavior that you would get.
okay. You get anything like disrespect, rebellion,
You find her rebellious sometimes, but then you have to put on your foot.
right?
But normal children stuff.
Okay. Okay. Social withdrawal, anxiety. Well,
She's
no.
just bold.
Okay.
She never.
Was your child ever counseled by a social worker or does she have to? Okay. Yeah. How is she doing in school academically?
But her percentage is like 83.
Okay.
That's what's the last percent that she had, 83%.
Okay. So she's doing that's great. Does she get into any trouble in school?
Oh.
Fighting?
Ah.
Okay. Has she ever gotten in trouble with the law?
No.
Okay. And if you were to make a suggestion, what kind of assistance could be given to by the government to help single parents? Like in what way you would appreciate help the most?
For myself? Or you
And
speaking in general?
for single parents in general, how could the government be of assistance to them?
I say more financially.
Financially?
Yes.
Okay. And do you benefit from the single parent fund?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
How long have you been a single parent?
I've been in Singapore in past 8 years.
So what caused you to become a single parent? Divorce, separation. You were already separated. This is boy and girl?
Yeah.
Just a boy and girl. So what do you consider the greatest challenge with her? Economic resource.
My greatest challenge is helping manage education plan.
So mostly. Okay. So how many jobs do you have?
Right now I'm working.
Well, so I was going to ask if you take care of the children. So you're not working. Okay. So what are some of the behavioral problems you experience with her?
Well, I don't really like complain about no behavior.
Is she disrespectful at any time?
Rebellious. Not much she can together, but sometimes you will find
Disobedient.
yeah, this is disobedient.
You think that should be good. Is there any emotional problems you notice her with? Like whether self-esteem or kind of depressed at sometimes she go in a corner in the room or something.
It could be sometimes like self-pity. I would like go and pressure her. Because most time I like find out by herself. I said, Trisha what's up and she okay. Like you're getting through with your work, you're hungry.
How old is her again?
She's there.
Is it difficult enforcing the law on her? I mean, your measure of discipline.
No, but you know, we deal with it. I give it belt.
Okay. So you will normally school her?
Yes,
Okay.
you know.
Was any has she ever visited like school counseling or welfare?
Not at all.
Okay. How is she doing in school? Academically?
Well,
Excellent, average, fair.